Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and his cabinet were sworn in last week, but diversity, equity, and inclusion advocates across the board are raising some alarm bells as to what's missing from Carney's new cabinet. And that's because the new cabinet does not include any named minister focusing on gender equity, disability, or LGBTQ++ portfolios. And a lot of people are not happy about that. Carney's slimmed-down cabinet of 23 ministers, compared to 36 under former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, eliminates both the Minister for Women and Gender Equality and Youth and the Minister of Diversity, Inclusion, and Persons with Disabilities. Now, the smaller cabinet is likely due to the imminent federal election and Carney's limited options from existing elected MPs who've committed to run again. Marcy Ian, the outgoing Minister of Gender Equality and Youth, is not running in the next election. But the decision to eliminate key roles is still facing harsh criticism from nonprofits, advocates, and people across the country. In a joint statement following the announcement, more than 200 Canadian organizations slammed, in particular, the decision to eliminate the Minister for Women and Gender Equality and Youth. Quote, "Even in a lean cabinet, which purports to be responding to specific economic pressures, the absence of the dedicated minister sends a troubling message about the current government's priorities and commitment to advancing rights for intergenerational women, to us LGBTQIA+ people, and gender equality at large." Now, Canada's had a Minister for the Status of Women since 1971, with the portfolio often getting paired with another department such as Heritage or State. And in 2018, under Trudeau, the role was renamed the Minister for Women and Gender Equality and more formally included LGBTQ++ issues. In 2021, it became the Minister for Women and Gender Equality and Youth, held by Marcy Ian until the most recent cabinet realignment. In addition to women's and youth issues, Ian was also responsible for LGBTQ++ issues and overseeing programs like Canada's 2S LGBTQI+ Action Plan. And a spokesperson for the government told the Canadian press that the Ministry of Women and Gender Equality still exists, and it, along with diversity and inclusion, will be overseen by Stephen Guilbeault as the Minister of Canadian Culture and Identity. Disabilities will be handled by Stephen McKinnon, Minister of Jobs and Families. But in this current moment where the very idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion is facing such backlash from conservatives, most notably US President Donald Trump, any decision to cut out inclusive language and shuffle it away under portfolios is notable. That's especially true, particularly when Carney himself has not publicly affirmed a commitment to LGBTQ++ rights or other specific equity categories. In that joint statement, all of those Canadian organizations pointed out that eliminating a dedicated role to gender equity will roll back accountability. Quote, "Consolidating these responsibilities into a broader portfolio undermines the focus, expertise, and resources required to tackle systemic issues effectively. Simply put, it will not work. Gender equality demands dedicated leadership, accountability, and sustained attention, none of which can be adequately achieved when it is treated as an afterthought within a larger, unrelated ministry."